Perfectly Normal Radio. It sounds a little something like this.
We're gonna make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich one time.
Welcome to Perfectly Normal Radio, where we are, for the most part, audio only on this here episode. There are a few pictures, but we will put them up on Twitter and Instagram if you are not watching this, but you still want to crash your car. Which you shouldn't. I've been listening to podcast hosts and paying attention to what they do, and one of the big things that they do is they advocate that their audience not die. Fair enough. If you want to make it till tomorrow, I stand by you. And to that effect, today we'll be revisiting the color options on Final Fantasy Advance 3 to squeeze out what fun there is to be squozed. And I kind of wish I had saved the Don't Die speech for the eventual summary episode where you'll get to hear that Final Fantasy title music repeatedly for like 20 minutes straight and really confirm or disconfirm your lust for life. After Final Fantasy, we'll be listening to Lil Davey Ike and his Reptilian Cotillion performing their new hit single, Gibberish, and a pretty cool guitar part. I liked it. Starts off with some gibberish and goes into a pretty cool guitar part. Fun fact, it was recorded on a phone, so if it sounds like it got mixed poorly, not true. It didn't get mixed at all. But I think the key here, as with most music worth going deaf over, is to just turn that shit the fuck up. It'll be a hoot. You'll love it. But before all that, ... As I was forcing myself to do all this bullshit, I was listening to some smart people talk about uplifting. But before you misunderstand me, I mean artificially bringing other species up to a higher level, evolutionarily, I guess is close enough. And in the light of our Battle Beast conversation from our 80s Toys Part 1 episode, now available on YouTube, iTunes, and PersonorPersons.com, and in the shining light of anthropomorphic animal soldiers everywhere, I had me a little daydream about what animals I'd uplift to make this little old planet as crazy as fucking possible for when the aliens show up. Or if it happens that we have to make the aliens. Either way, here be the local aboriginal species of the planet Earth that I would big up, mentally and to some convenient extent physically. I'm not going to get hung up on some bullshit, but I am saying full 9 yards integration, ergonomic studies, newfangled amendments to old-fangled constitutions, bring back the bathroom argument, and let's get these freaky fuckers on the picket line and in the battle trenches as soon as possible. First up, pangolins, which are of the genus words where you spend the whole pronunciation just trying not to say a different word while the listener spends all the time trying not to hear that same wrong word. So, up go these crazy armored ant-eating sons of bitches, because something should be naturally armored, and I think these guys are our guys. A nice cross between dorky and brutal, plus you can give them nacho-flavored crickets and all that wacky novelty bug-based food that isn't as weird or as good as it should be. And they'll thank you for it with a big, dumb, skull-crushing hug to the face. The Feeling Man's finishing move. Next up, the Komodo dragons, because we may have to face the slim chance that there are no lizard aliens fucking around up there, always up to no good. So, boom, we make the lizard aliens, and we have them sitting around in saunas talking about crime and eating guinea pigs. Like Ecuador. At least the hot, wet, and guinea pig part, though I imagine there's the standard background level of crime going on there. This isn't hard science fiction, just a laser gun daydream where Komodo dragons have big gold medallions nested ominously in their chest hair. Also, I'm officially advocating a live animatronic dinosaur version of Harlem Nights, apparently. I think that's what I'm getting to in this one. Moving on, giant stick bugs. First of all, they ain't so giant, so don't fret that yet. I'm thinking that we should have bugs, but you don't want tiny little quick little bugs ending this bad idea before the slope gets nice and slippery. Plus, these guys strike me as loners, and we don't want any hive minds mucking up the racetrack, if you know what I mean. No quick movements, no brute force, just crazy stick monster going on about agricultural subsidies and exoskeletal rights. The image in my head is like Groot, you know, from Space Fantasy Team 7, that talks like Guy Smiley, you know, from Undumb the Kids Avenue. So Like a dead-eyed Groot that talks like Guy Smiley and is really into finding the perfect side salad to go with its dinner salad. And then we come to, not last, not first, not least, and possibly the worst, the goddamn octopus. 'Cause something's gotta be the worst thing ever, and if something's got a shot, it's those weird freaky fuckers. They're pretty slick, so I don't think we'll be spending as much time helping them up as keeping them down after the initial kick in the ass. There's enough welding and concrete work you can do underwater for them to have some pretty wacky evil bases. Plus, I seen them go running around on land when they thought I wasn't looking. I'm also banking on water being the last little bit of like, they ain't like us, left over to kind of balance things out after everyone's all crazy looking and just getting ready to jockey for position. And lastly, giant bats. Because we ought to have something dangerous flying around that isn't a robot. Also, these fox-headed evil teddy bears are not so giant either. We want them big enough to keep out of places we don't want them in, but not so big that they're picking us up off the sidewalk. They also like a nice banana, which is nice. We don't want to go around making vampires and getting our Victorians and millennials all hot and bothered underneath their corsets and their sanctioned millennial equivalents. I don't know, vintage Occupy Wall Street baby tea? Now, it might seem more logical to hand off this new brain to something like a parrot or a crow or a raven or a hummingbird. But fuck that. Dinosaurs had they chance. Plus, if we're gonna have a terror from above, we might want to keep that shit in the family. I mean, we made bananas, and we made their hands perfect for them bananas. And that's a teammate right there that you can count on. Well, up until the very moment where shit gets real, and we figure out who's the man, or the pangolin, or lizard, or stickbug, or squishy sucker man, or friendly neighborhood Batman. When we get there, I suppose we'll see. But until then, here's some Final Fantasy, and then a little tune to tide you over until next time. Enjoy.
Okay, so let's see what dark green looks like with the Game Boy.
Dark green.
Yeah, that's not dark. That's like fluorescent green.
That's like them soft brim volleyball hats.
Ooh, now it makes the ocean look like nuclear waves.
Makes it look like the 90s.
Whoa! Almost like a hypercolor T-shirt that you sweated in too much and it just got stained that color.
My favorite rusty surfboard Big Johnson themed world. Surfing the tubes.
Okay, I wonder if we put this... Well, that's not dark green. It's more like fluorescent.
If the colors are different, why aren't the names different? This doesn't make any sense. God, the continuity is just terrible. I mean, clearly you changed the option, so...
Yep. Let's see what grayscale
God!
looks like.
I hate this game now. Doesn't make any sense. It's unrealistic.
Oh, grayscale looks kind of like your regular Game Boy settings do.
Oh yeah, totally.
The ocean looks gray and depressing. The clouds look gray and depressing. This is the Game Boy.
Clitoris, I mean cities.
Yeah. This is the Game Boy you bought from a yard sale that was smashed while you're taking like new on the market antidepressants to wash out color in your life.
This is like your dad finally got you the Game Boy Color, but then he got mad at the racetrack on the way home, and he started hitting you in the head, and then you can't see color anymore. Only like he's really sad, and you can tell that this is the time when he's really turned a corner, so you don't let him know that you can't see colors anymore. Yeah, dude, it's tragic. It's like
very tragic.
Play for third graders.
Let's see what this looks like. Game Boy with the color green.
Someone mature enough to be scarred by it, but not mature enough to, like, cast it aside.
Whoa, cool. It looks like brownish fluorescent green. Whoa!
Hey, man! Welcome to the islands!
The ocean looks like
we got a problem with the toxic waste! We got a big problem with the birth defects.
Call the city out here to clean this shit up, man. Make my Game Boy game
Why
look
have
like
you
black
forsaken me, Ja?
There's no jaw here. Only Zool.
My baby got 3 fingers and no hands. He got fingers everywhere.
He gonna be a rude boy one day, but nah, not with 3 fingers. I try to teach him the tools of Babylon. Go to Mount Zion,
He
boy.
looks like a coconut crab and he can't spell. He's not gonna be a doctor like that.
He just gonna be hooked on crack.
He's gonna be Irish. Black Irish.
Okay, let's see what other
Black Irie.
colorful settings we have for the black and white Game Boy. Inverted.
If you're Black Irish, that means you're a slave on both your parents' sides.
Yeah, because, oh, damn.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
It's like a Caribbean dream
Whoa,
vacation
check
to a
this out.
fucking
So,
sugarcane field.
inverted makes black, white, and white and black. This is kind of like reverse racism right here. I'm playing Game Boy games with
This
reverse
has
racism.
completely, like, taken
Whoa.
my whole notion of reality and flipped it. It's like black and white are the same, but, like, the only way there's any meaning in it is if we are together, because then you have, like, words and, like, pictures and,
The ocean in this version now looks like...
Wait a second,
due to
I didn't come
Eckerd's-
from no monkey!
The picture now in this
What?
game looks like due to Eckerd, like the color of the ocean, like due to Eckerd's fucked up on his.
It looks like
on
I
his
was
photograph.
just donkey punched.
I mean, sir, you gave me negative photographs back.
And it's like yellow and twitchy, but there's also the blue of my tears.
Yes, in this ocean of scum.
Yeah.
So inverted.
I gotta tell you, man, this game is awesome.
You could change it different colors.
We haven't done anything, and it's been
Nope.
like 20 minutes.
Yes.
And the whole time, the Retron thinks Dr. Mario is playing.
Yeah, stupid Retron.
Take-
Orange! There's another color,
Take
orange!
that to heart, dear audience.
When you thought blue... well,
the world
fuck.
could be totally different, and you don't even know it.
And Cookie Puss looks down on us and said, "Why ain't you all dead yet? I mean, I made the bees go away with my cell phone giveaway. And I made MLK. We get a cherry slushy and half a gallon of Gatorade. Because goddamn, there might be a pickup game. And when you're double teaming MLK, you're gonna have to box out
Wow.
because he goes hard in the paint. It's less like Oregon Trail and more like Happy Trail. Only still everyone dies of scurvy.
Dysentery.
You can't take on Old Man River. You can't take on Father Time without a big fucking cock. Because we all know it's a dick measuring contest in the sky. It's the greatest dick measuring contest for girls and guys. So lay it down, pick it out, put it around your shoulder, sling it all about, cause we're measuring dicks and you better have a dick worth measuring.
rock with steel. Good old compliance.
And this has been Perfectly Normal Radio. You can find this program, among other fun things, at PersonorPersons.com. Once again, that's PersonorPersons.com. Or look for Perfectly Normal Radio wherever you look for podcasts. The old thanks again and more are in the show annotations, so be sure and drink your Ovaltine over at PersonorPersons.com for stuff you might want to know about stuff we might want to tell you. Like, thanks for listening. Oh, and I forgot to mention, with November over, it's time to tally up the death count for this year and see what souls we November babies have reaped. There's a whole lot of Nigerians, various underlings of the Church of Rome, footballers, both foreign and domestic, and Rick Reinert, who did animations for ABC in the 70s during one of those times where it mattered to the economy that we were trying to teach people how to read again, and as part of this, he made the Captain O.G. Readmore spots, and later some specials for it. Captain O.G. Readmore, for the uninitiated, is the most gangster name in all of literature. There is also Roy Clark, who hosted Hee Haw. Then we have Ken Berry, who was in a whole bunch of TV shows, but more importantly, he was in those Mama Family pics that we used when we were talking about the Golden Girls. That's Mama's Family, if I didn't bother to fucking say that. But, anyway, here are the big ones. We got Stan Lee, the Jell-O and Band-Aid of comic books. The man who made so many cameos that we would call him Cameo if there wasn't already a cameo. Word up. Oh, and Stan Lee would have been the big winner if it wasn't for one George Bush the Foist. That's George Herbert Walker Bush. Some of you may know him as the father of the last Bush who was president during Gulf War II. Some of you may know him as a brief neighbor of The Simpsons. Others may know him as the president during Gulf War I or vice president at the end of the Cold War prior to that. Also, you might know him as a man who was the director of the CIA and also considered soft and wimpy by the general public, which is a fantastic trick of lighting smoke and mirrors. Lastly, some of you may know him as the son of Prescott Bush, who was the man who brought us Richard Nixon, the interstate highway system, and the Union Banking Corporation, one of the only businesses to actually get spanked for working with the Nazis, which probably means they were holding gold or something you can straight up smash and grab. For the public good. And the saddest one, the one that actually seems to matter a little bit to me, is old William Goldman, who was a writing son of a bitch. He wrote lots of shit, but he definitely wrote movies such as, but not limited to, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, The Stepford Wives, Maverick, All the President's Men, Marathon Man, A Bridge Too Far, which some of our viewers may recall as Pigman's Thesis in PCU. You know, Kane and Hackman in the same movie. And of course, the book, the movie, and perhaps the only time some of us could be coaxed into caring about stuff. The Princess Bride. Yeah, he done wrote all them things, and now he doesn't write shit. And that is sad, sad, sad. But we must go on. And so we shall. Personally, in the kingdom, we have the second part of 80s Toys on the assembly line, and there's a few more ditties from that same conversation that strayed off topic enough to get their own hot stone video editing dream vacation. And, among those other things hanging on the meat hooks around here is a nice longer form audio thing that we did the other day where I turned Reddit posts into questions and simply everybody answered. All that and more ought to be dripping down soon enough, so stay black, stay golden, stay Jewish, and stay tuned for however we get these megabytes from these here hard drives to your here brains.